So you're live on YouTube now.
Great. All right, well, welcome everybody again. So we're just starting with introductions for the many people joining and watching us on live streaming. I'm Edward Hoyle. I'm the Deputy Chair of Sacre, and I'm assisting Marie, who's sort of doing two jobs today. And I am a humanist on the other faiths panel. Helen, would you?
Yeah, I'm Ellen Kemp. I'm on the Church of England panel. I'm a governor at two schools in Newham.
My name's Rakesh Samplay, or Constable Samplay. I'm the Faith and Communities Liaison Officer for the Met Police Newham. What panel I sit on, it's going to be difficult at the moment. I have to defer on that one until I speak to Claire.
I'm Chetna Gandhi. I'm the primary school teacher at Rickrich Primary School, and I am in teachers panel at Sacre.
And I'm Marie Hardy. I'm the chair of Sacre, and I'm also on the teachers panel.
Antonella, would you mind?
Oh, not at all. Hello, my name's Antonella. I'm the clerk for this meeting.
And I'll try and work through people on Zoom. I think we have Alicia.
Hi, I'm Alicia Lewis. I'm on the teachers panel and I train RE teachers at the University of East London.
And we have Pat.
Hello, I'm Pat McFarland. I'm on the teachers panel and I work at Carpenter's Primary School.
And Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Heath and I am a deputy head teacher at Plashet Secondary School. I'm on the teachers panel.
Thank you. Taranam.
Hi, excuse my voice. I've lost my voice completely this week. I'm Taranum Afsham, member of senior management team at Ranelagh, and I'm representing teachers panel today.
Thank you. Alexia.
Hi, I'm on the teachers panel and I work at Elmhurst Primary School.
Thank you. Reverend Christiana.
Yeah, I'm Christiana Asinugo. I am on the Church of England panel, Vicar at St. Matthew's Church.
Ruth.
I'm Ruth Everett and I'm on the Church of England panel and my day job is Diocesan RE Advisor for Chelmsford Diocese.
Asma.
Hi, I'm Asma Hussain. I'm a primary school teacher and I'm on other faith panel representing Shia Islam.
Actor.
This evening, everyone. My name is Akhtar Rauf and I'm representing the Sunni Muslim. Yeah, today. Thank you.
Thanks, Charmin.
Hi, I'm Charmin. I'm on the other faiths panel representing Sunni Muslims.
Thank you. We had Yael for a while. Is she there? I think she's had a couple of connection issues. Okay. Sakwat.
Hi, good evening to you all. Where should I start? Day job, investment banking. For tonight's concerned, representing the local authority board as a school governor, also sitting the Sacre, the school governors forum, the school forum and the school governors forum, the faith group, as Anne knows, and currently getting groomed to be the treasurer of the Sacre, National Sacre.
Thank you. Pushpa.
Thank you. Councillor Pushpa Makwana presenting earlier panel.
Thanks. Paul. Oh, Paul's in the waiting room again. Oh, maybe we'll quickly move on to Joe.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Joe Kinnaird. I'm just observing tonight's meeting as part of my leadership programme, but with Colin St Gabriel, just to see how a Sacre meeting works. I'm currently head of Key Stage 3 RE at the Cooper's Company and Coburn School in Upminster.
Thank you. Katrina.
Hello, Hello, I'm Katrina Martin. I work with I work with RE Matters, and I'm here tonight with some student members of Student RE Matters.
Great. And Paul, I think Paul's rejoined now.
Hi, good evening. Sorry about that. Paul Smith from the London Borough of Newham Local Authority, here in my role as Head of Learning and Achievement.
And is there anyone, so we know we've got a couple of the student Sacre representatives. Is there, oh, Anne, sorry, Miss Anne.
That's all right. I thought you were going on to something different. I'm Anne Easter. I'm one of the councillors for Canning Town North, and I'm a Church of England priest.
And is there anyone else who I've missed? Oh, Joe.
Yeah, and there's Actor as well. Yeah, but he's off camera at the moment.
Oh, and Gillian's joined as well. So, sorry, Joe, would you like to go? Thanks.
Very confusing when you said Joe earlier on. I went to unmute. Hi, I'm Jo Mathias. I'm on the teachers panel, and I'm a teacher at St Stephen's School.
And Gillian?
Hi, I'm Gillian Striso on the Other Faiths panel for the Methodist Church in Newham.
Right. Is there anyone else I've missed then?
Actor is online, but he's muted in. He's off camera at the moment. If you
Actor.
Just
yeah, I think he introduced himself.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I can do it again if you like.
No, can I apologise? I think I was running around.
No worries.
So good to hear from you twice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Right, so we're going to go through the management of business. The order is going to stay the same. There are a few items for any other business at the end. We have some possible changes to our membership. So we have a Brother Sam who's going to replace Reverend Ryan as the member of the Church of England panel, but I don't think Brother Sam has joined us tonight. So we'll perhaps look for him in the summer.
Chair, have you received it, or the nomination? Have you received it from the diocese?
Yes, we have, yes. We also were going to be having a Mal from the Majid Ibrahim to be accepted, but he's actually moved to Barking and Dagenham. And instead we're going to have Himanshu to be accepted as a member of the Other Faiths panel, who is going to represent Jainism. I don't think he's joined us tonight either, so we may have to officially welcome him on, and he'll be back. He'll be here in the summer. He's coming from the Barking and Dagenham Sacre, but lives in Newham, so he's going to be very knowledgeable about how Sacres work. And we were going to have someone called possibly Pradeep from our local Gurdwara to take the place of Mr. Jandu, but I don't think Pradeep has joined us tonight either. No. Okay. We just asked then if there are any members of Sacre who want to declare any interests in relation to our business tonight. Did you have some other?
Not interest, but
or do you want your apologies?
A couple of apologies. Would that be all right?
Yes, of course.
So we've got Councillor Aisha Steek has given apologies. Mr. Jandu has been in touch by email to say that he's apologised for this evening. Charlene McLeod, Puya Roud, sorry, can I apologise for my bad pronunciation, and Reverend Mangler.
Thank you. And of course, just in case anyone's joined us late on, just to explain that Claire Clinton's not feeling very well at the moment, so she won't be at this meeting, but she has been in touch with me to talk through everything that she would have said if she was here, so we'll hopefully not miss out on too much information, even though we will miss seeing her in person. Okay, are we okay to move on to number 3? Yeah. Did anybody want to declare any interest in relation to the business on the agenda tonight?
Nope.
Nope. Brilliant. Just try to get in touch with Councillor. Okay, what we'll do then, we're going to move on to the minutes. There are a couple of minutes for us to have a look through. So if we start on page 7 of your pack, and then if anybody wants to stop me at any point to ask any questions or to clarify anything, please do so. So page 7, page 8, page 9, page 10, Now on page 11, we have some dates for judging the competition that are set for the 21st and the 23rd of June. I don't think they're correct because they're also the days when the training is happening and also our launch of the new agreed syllabus. So we do in fact have some other judging dates coming up, and that's item number 13. So I will talk about those dates there, but just in case you've already put them in your diary, please know that we're not doing the judging on those dates. Okay, page 12. Okay, and that's the minutes from the 27th of May. And then on page 13, you have the minutes from our October meeting. So page 13. Page 14. On page 15, we asked the RE advisor, Claire, to commission a piece of work to investigate how the teaching of RE was being recorded in schools. She's done that. She's chased up all the schools where it may have seemed like RE was not happening. It absolutely is going on, but there was an issue perhaps with somebody putting it on as humanities or something different, so it didn't get caught as RE, but she's looked into that and it's definitely happening in all those schools. Okay, page 16. So one of the actions on page 16 was to draw up a list of approved faith advisors and subject experts. We've been given that in a supplementary pack. We would just ask that that isn't shared around because it's got people's email addresses on it. Yeah, so that's just for our eyes. Okay, page 17. Just to say that the follow-up letters have been obtained and they will be being used. And just to check with Antonella, we had one where the mayor was going to be invited to our syllabus launch. We were wondering if that had happened.
Yes, so the invitation has been sent. It's been acknowledged, but it's not been formally accepted at the moment because there are elections between now and the launch.
Of course. Thank you very much. Okay, page 18 and page 19. Okay. Are we happy then to approve this as a correct record of the minutes held in May and October? Okay. Lovely.
Yeah. Sorry, Marie, I've sent a message in. My name was missing from the people present. It's Jo Matthias.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jo.
Was that for October or?
Well, I'm on the October one for the May one.
May. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Ed, could I ask you to introduce our wonderful student, Sacre?
Oh,
okay.
Yes. Yes, thank you. I think we've got a couple of representatives, and hopefully, I mean, maybe would the representatives like to introduce themselves? Or Katrina, are you going to introduce them?
Yes, I would just, good evening, everybody. We're very excited to be with you tonight. I have three members of the Student RE Matters exec, and this is their first experience of a Sacre meeting, and I'm going to hand over to them, and they're going to present you with a report of the Student RE Matters so far this year. So I'm going to hand over to you, exec. You might need to unmute yourselves.
Good evening,
Hello.
everyone. Oh, sorry. Good evening, everyone. Hope you guys are well. I'm a representative for St. Bond of Student RE Matters.
Oh.
Okay, Tahani, would you like to start?
Hello, my name is Tahani and I attend Azhar Academy Girls' School. I am also part of Student Sacre. The Student Sacre Matters teams from different schools have now met 3 times, twice in person and once virtually. There are many aspects of each session that were highly enjoyable. We particularly enjoyed studying the artifacts from different faiths in our first session, which was on October the 5th. This was a great opportunity to learn more about each faith, particularly the historical aspects. Also, for many, this was the first time they had the opportunity to see and touch such precious items. We think it was a great session to introduce the aims of these workshops. I will now pass on to my other student Sacre peers.
Good evening, everyone. I'm one student representative. In our second session, which is November 16th, we had guest speakers sharing experiences of their own faith. This is one of our favorite sessions as it allowed us to ask questions and learn more from people with first-hand experience and knowledge. The range of speakers, we had a humanist, a Sikh, and a Hindu, and a Christian representative. It was interesting to learn that although from the outside these faiths may seem so different, they share a moral understanding. Again, for some of us, it was the first time we came across and had the opportunity to speak with different faith leaders.
And Chizzy.
Good evening. My name is Chizaram Opara. I'm from St. Bon's, and I'd just like to say our last session was via Zoom on 11th January. During this session, we had guest speaker Steve Chalk sharing his experiences and introducing us to skills like communication, confidence building, and presenting. These skills will help us for our final task, which is presenting a lesson to a primary school class. But these are also skills we can use throughout our education and further on. One of the best aspects of these workshops is the inclusivity. The fact that we get to work with other schools. Being an all-boys Catholic school, it was nice to have a mixed school and an all-girls Muslim school join us. It was also nice to have the opportunity to ask questions and learn more from different faith leaders. One of the best things we saw through these workshops is how diversity brings us together.
We look forward to the next session and preparing for the lesson we will deliver. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, and I'm delighted that 3 of you could join us today. We really appreciate it.
So you get lots of rounds of applause from our Sacre members there as well. It sounds like you had an amazing time, and I'm just so pleased that you have been able to start getting back to seeing each other in person and actually meeting people in person as well. The opportunity to talk to the humanist, the Sikh person, the Hindu, and the Christian representatives must have been fantastic, and I'm sure you had lots of questions and grilled them very closely.
I was one of them.
You were one of them.
He was.
And I think it's brilliant that you're kind of learning, because we're from the teachers panel, what it's like to be a teacher planning ahead for these lessons that you're going to teach in primary school. Hopefully we won't be lucky enough to be one of the primary schools you choose to come to. But yeah, we're really looking forward to that. I know you've given us your report and that was lovely to hear, but I was wondering, is there anything else that you want to tell us about what you learned from your experience, anything new that you found out apart from the commonality that there are between those different religions and different world views?
Anyone want to answer?
Don't worry if you can't think at the moment.
I think one of them's Kieran.
Oh, sorry to disturb you, but I guess one of the things that kind of brought all the religions together, despite their differences, that the respect and I guess moral beliefs and foundations of each religion kind of was the same throughout, and that everyone deserves respect in life.
Yeah, because I know in schools we talk about mutual respect and tolerance all the time, but to actually see that being put into practice and seeing how it works in real life, yeah, it must have been really good. Katrina, did you want to add anything about these wonderful young people and what they're doing and learning?
Well, they've done so well because obviously we were delayed, and they've coped with doing a hybrid version of meeting in person, which has been is obviously fantastic, but also with having sessions on Zoom. and having a student exec. And so yesterday we were pleased to have, so Kieran and Tahani are both we're going to have co-chairs this year for our executive committee. And so we're just excited for our next session, where we're going to start planning the primary lesson that will be hopefully delivering face-to-face in the summer, but we will see how things go by then. But they're fantastic young people. I'm so grateful that they were willing and happy to give up their time as well tonight to come along.
Amazing, thank you. And I can see that Paul's put in the chat that you're a wonderful part of our community. We can see some future leaders blooming here in front of our eyes. So we're very privileged to be a part of seeing this journey that you're on and being just a tiny little part of that journey as well. Fantastic. And
Maria, could I just sorry,
go on.
Sorry, Maria, could I just add there, like, you know, a word of thanks to Katrina and all the students on their participation, for their time, effort to come in tonight and like giving that brief, sharing their experience and thoughts, which was so wonderful to listen to. So thank you all.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to add a word to our young people?
Thank you.
I'd just like to reiterate what I put in the chat, that I'd love to be a pupil in the lesson you deliver, to see how you pass that learning on. And thank you so much for giving up your time amid your studying to be with us tonight. It's great to hear your voices and that real lived experience that is being passed on. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any last words before they pop off?
Oh, I think that every year the student Sacre representatives we get are all brilliant, and it's great that the quality of the students continues.
Yeah. We look to hearing about your next steps in our summer Sacre meeting. So.
Yes, we will be back. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Okay. Our next point on our agenda is the Newham RE and Collective Worship Annual Report, which starts on page 25. For this, what I think I'd like to ask Antonella to do, if that's okay, is we're going to go into breakout rooms, and what we're going to do in those breakout rooms is just to reflect on the report all about last year and to try and pull out the successes from the past year. So at whatever group you end up in, if you talk about what you what you noticed in the report, what stood out to you in the report, and then to feedback from your group something, what was the best, most positive thing that we accomplished last year, if that's okay. So, how many people do we have? 21?
So we have 21, but that includes this unit here, and that doesn't include everybody.
No,
in
so
the
if
room.
we be a group here by ourselves, and then we won't put ourselves in a group when it asks us to join one.
No. So what we'll do is, if that's okay, we'll keep you on camera, but I'll mute the microphone. Would that be all right?
So I think if we have 4 people in each group, that's 5 groups, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah.
So I'm going to assign them randomly. Is that
That's
all right?
absolutely fine. Yeah.
And
be random.
does the 5th group include this one? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll manually assign them, because it could be that it will assign this to one of the other groups, whereas it needs to be a group on its own.
That's fine, because if it puts us in one of the groups, we just won't join it.
We just won't join it.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll do assign
That's
automatically.
fine, yeah.
Fine. Right, here we go. Good luck, everyone. Right, so I'm just going to open the rooms now. You'll see an invitation. Just accept the invitation, and it will plop you into a private room, which won't be on Zoom, and it won't be on the web.
And then come back with all your positive comments.
Okay, so where are we?
I think we're just waiting to go through. hang on, in room 2.
Are we back in the room, Maria? We can't hear you. You're on mute, Maria, if you're speaking.
Thank you. We're unmuted now. It's going to collect feedback from the different groups, just so you hear a different voice than mine.
Hopefully these were all numbered rooms.
Yes.
So hopefully, can room 1 please provide their feedback? Anyone from room 1?
Were we room 1? I can't even remember now. Yeah, we were saying, Asma and myself were saying that out of the report, we noticed that only 70 pupils had withdrawn from RE out of the 64,257 pupils that there are in Newham, and I think that's really good. It could have been a lot higher, and it isn't. It's really nice that it's a low number. It means that it's only like 99.89% of children attend RE lessons. So it's just a small number that I've withdrawn, which is really good from last year. That's what we pointed out. And the RE quality mark, with the 5 schools going for the RE quality mark as well, which is a really big achievement in the borough as well.
Thank you very much. Would someone from room 2, please?
Go on, Pat, don't be shy.
Paul.
You first, and then I'll follow.
Okay. Well, we were saying on the small tables that was dotted around, it was showing you great numbers either being outstanding or good, and very few needing attention, and 0 for inadequate. And we said that this is really that's a really good percentage all round, and it's also backed up by the results that children get in their GCSEs and A levels at the end. So it was really good to see so many outstanding and good RE being taught across the borough and recognised.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just to follow on from Pat, it's a real testament to the strength of the way in which our school community, parents, carers, children work together as one big community to address and face the challenges together, but through faith and through the diversity of faith to address those challenges together, to come together. We've had the common issue of the pandemic that's brought everybody closer together, but I think the report also particularly highlights how there's been a real focus on promoting the well-being of people throughout this process, and how that's influenced the way in which children achieve well, continue to thrive, remain resilient. But it'd be wrong of me if I didn't at least take this opportunity to give a big, huge thanks to our schools, our staff in schools, our teachers, support staff and governors for the superb, quite exceptional work that they do in the roles that they play in securing such fantastic academic outcomes and personal and social outcomes for our children, not least the attainment results that children achieve at throughout the key stages, which are continually high for all ethnic groups in Newham. I'm really pleased to report that. But if you think about the way in which our schools work with children and their families, and then the high attendance that we have sustained in our schools throughout the pandemic and out of the pandemic, then linking that with their achievement, that tells me one thing, that our children, our families and our communities of schools are hugely invested in the culture of each other and come together as one family, one community. And I'll finally say, what makes Newham so unique is in fact its people, its diversity and its culture. So huge thanks for the report, because yet again, we have a fantastic report to celebrate, and I think we should take every opportunity to celebrate as widely as we can beyond Newham the fantastic work that our schools do with our faith leaders, our community leaders in securing such fantastic outcomes for our young people.
Thank you very much. Would someone from room 3 please like to report?
We're on room 4 now.
Oh, we're on room 4. Sorry.
Hi. So we said most of what Paul said, and we really said that we wanted to celebrate how, although there was a pandemic, we were able to come together and work with teachers and think of almost like a new curriculum, sort of, because of everything that was happening in the world and how it was affecting our children. We were able to just come away from RE and talk about other things related to RE as well, and then slowly transition back into our syllabus. And I was just sharing with the ladies as well that now that I've moved from East London to West London, I'm working in different schools in West London, and I can still celebrate how amazing we are in Newham and how RE is taught, especially with the syllabus being there. It was so helpful for the teachers to work off something, and it was literally like the Bible of RE, as we call it. It was just so helpful, and you can tell how good it is because of the results that we get from our children. And we celebrate everything, and their children have lots of opportunities to share their experiences as well. And also we said that it was really nice to have the Zoom meetings. Although like there was a pandemic, we still got to come together via Zoom and still talk about RE. So yeah.
Thank you. And can I just check that we didn't skip over room 3?
You did skip over room 3.
My fault, sorry.
Go back to room 3, please.
I don't know if Gillian wanted to say anything. I think Ruth's on another, I think she's messaged saying she's got a call. I know that Ruth was very impressed with the overview at the beginning part of the report and thought it was very thorough, sort of introduction. And I think we picked up on the same things as everybody else, you know, particularly, I suppose, being teachers, kind of looking at the monitoring, and you know, there was no complaints, and we picked up on the 70 children withdrawn from RE, but only 1 from collective worship. We were wondering, not sure how many primary schools there are in Newham, but we wondered how many people responded. It'd be good to know how many schools responded out of the total number that could have responded, just to give some context. But no, I think it was, you know, very impressive, and also with the 5 school with their
REQM. Sorry, I'm back now. Yeah, thank you.
Don't know if Claire wants to say anything else. I'll stop. Sorry, Anne-Marie.
No, you said it. You said it.
Yeah.
But it was that context because of the and also just how it comes together, reflecting the whole community, and how much was achieved in a year that was so difficult. But if you took the difficulty out of that year, it still, you know, was excellent. So
maybe Antonella, we can just check with Claire that we got something back from all the schools. I think there's about 66 primary schools in Newham, and Claire's very good at chasing all of them.
Yeah, no, I just said it'd be good to have the context of the percentage of schools that returned that. So
Sorry.
Thank you.
There's that one.
And shall we go to
Did you want me to follow
room 5, please? Yeah. I think that's the last one.
Sarah, is that us or ACTA? I didn't note the room number. I think it's us then, yeah. Okay.
That is us, yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for sharing all these thoughts, every single group. So I think I won't repeat things that the groups already said. I totally share that, especially like, you know, the comment from Charmaine and Paul. In addition to that, I mean, I would add from our group, I mean, monitoring of the RE and the collectiveness is very well done as per that report, and not just like for Newham, but nationally as well. Working with the Newham agreed syllabus, which was one of our mammoth tasks, getting that over the line, and I'm sure, like, you know, I mean, we will get that signed off in the summer. The other bits, sorry, I'm just going to the list not to repeat myself or the other things was discussed. Agreed syllabus we counted, and the results, I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, seeing that report here, I mean, 56% outstanding, which is, like, you know, a very well done to the Sacre and itself and for Newham. There has been no complaints about the RE in our borough at all, not a single one. And we are the pioneer and the role model for not just for Newham, but all of UK. And me being part of the National Sacre, we could see that the work that Claire's been put into this Sacre, and we are a beacon, a pioneer. I mean, not just locally, but nationally as well. And the other thing we touched upon is, like, you know, this is a place whereby, I mean, given the challenges that we have of COVID and all these situations around homes, children, educations and stuff, and I believe, I mean, Paul and Eleanor, we was in the meeting yesterday with the mental health well-being. This is a place that people could come together, share their thoughts, and like engage in some form of like awareness of what is happening around them. So it's just a good platform that we should, like, you know, I mean, share with everyone else. And the last section was the celebrating the diversity. I think it's a wonderful job that Sacre is doing, getting people, again, students, teachers, the community together, and I mean, moving this piece forward. I think that's about it. Is there anything else, Akhtar or Sarah, you want to add?
No, not from me. Well
okay, so I think we're all done. Over to you. Thanks.
Well, I think we've covered most things, but I would just say that I think from our group, the thing that stood out was really continuity. It was things kept going, results remained good, complaints low, withdrawal rates extremely low, collective worship continued. This is all great. And one other thing that really isn't in the report was about the hard work that Claire was doing behind the scenes in the community, working with places of worship and religious schools and the like to ensure that everyone was happy with the various rules that were in place, and the Met received no complaints from that front and no negative social media feedback at all, so that was fantastic.
And if Claire was here, I know she would want to just reiterate that we had the best results of any borough in the country in RE. Our average results were 10% above the national average. We have a higher percentage of children sitting RE than anyone else. And she especially wanted to reiterate the idea about how the schools were able to adapt with the curriculum advice that you've mentioned. They really appreciated us getting ahead of that for them. So like you said, when they came back to school, they were able to ask those big questions, get back into it. They appreciate the flexibility that we gave them in these really difficult circumstances. So just knowing that we're a big support for our schools, needs to be celebrated. But just exactly what you've all said. So thank you for that. Fantastic. Okay.
Can I just come in here, Maria or Chair? Can I just say a word of thanks on behalf of every single one of us here to Claire for our outstanding work, hard work and dedication, and that to be noted in the minutes, please. Thank you.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much for doing that to us. Yeah. Okay. Right, we're going to move on to the Sacre priorities, which is on page. I think it's on page 39 on my one. Mm-hmm. Is it?
56. Yeah, 36 on mine.
34, 36.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
it is 39. It is 39. There's
39.
The report from the prior year.
I see. Oh, gosh. Okay. Can we look on page 39? That'll be the one that I want to have a look at. Yeah. So these are our Sacre priorities. There's a couple of typos that I know Claire's going to correct. So, for example, in number 3, where it says supporting good RE, it says poetry competition again, but just to clarify, this year we're doing the Places of Worship art competition, so that'll be changed. Is there anything else in the priorities that anybody wanted to bring up? I know that later on I'll give you some dates for the judging, and I know Claire would really appreciate it if you could email her to let her know if you will be available, but we'll tell you the dates in a bit. Just to say, with the launch of our new agreed syllabus, that the Cabinet Management Team, or CMT, met yesterday. The report's going to go to Cabinet in April to be ratified. Everything is in place. There don't seem to be any issues. Schools are aware of the dates for the training. So there's EYFS, primary school and secondary school training. Just to make Sacre members aware that they are very welcome to attend. The training is taking place at Elmhurst on the 20th, the 21st and the 22nd of June. The primary school training is on the Monday, EYFS training on the Tuesday, and secondary school training on the Wednesday. On the Thursday, here at East Ham Town Hall, from 4:30 till 6 o'clock is our launch. And if everybody from Sacre could come to that, that would be amazing. Okay, so that's the Sacre priorities. Moving on to the monitoring of RE and collective worship. We have there the draft questions that we would be sending out to schools at the beginning of the summer term. Is there any questions about the questions, or anything that anyone can spot, or anything that you think needs to be included that's not already there?
I think everyone's happy.
Maria, will this be on a Google document?
Exactly. I think we'll continue doing it on a Google document because people seem to find that quite easy to do. Would that be okay?
Is that easy to share with governors? Because some of the forms coming out of late have not been easy for governors to see them, have a contribution to them.
Yeah, so I think what we're asking RE subject leaders to do is to show it to head teachers and chair of governors first before they submit it on the Google form. So whether that be printed out or they do it on a Word document, what they're going to copy and paste into it, and getting the verbal agreement there. So there's some trust involved there. Yeah.
Two schools didn't make it, so that's what I'm saying. It's not easy.
Okay, so maybe just any actions elsewhere to ensure the governors are seeing the results.
Can I just add, Maria, that I mean, I think using the Google, sharing the document is one of the easy way of collecting the data and collecting these forms, because that's an advantage.
Yes.
I don't know. So I mean, for the sake of what Ellen said, is quite valid as well, because when it comes to the governors is another story. But we will have to work with Claire to manage that process somehow and see what is the best outcome would be so we get the best of both worlds.
I think what I'm saying is it might be helpful to warn a member of staff that's filling it in that they have to save it, because in the last two schools pressed the wrong button and they lost it, and we've never ever got it.
I see. Okay.
So, it's just that warning of what to do first.
Yeah. Little tweaks that we can fix as we go along.
Oh, yeah. Not saying the document.
Okay. Well, if
on the documents, is there a button where you can get your response or the form sent back to you?
Do you know, I don't think there was last year, so we could ask Claire to have a look and see if that could be added. Would that be all right, Antonella?
That was the problem.
So can a button be added where you can download or print your answers?
Could I just raise something on the secondary one? There's question 6 inquires how many teachers teach RE in your school, how many are full-time RE and how many are part-time RE. I think an interesting question in secondary to ask could actually be how many are subject specialists, because you may find that you have 3 full-time subject specialist RE teachers, but then you got a couple of people coming in from other places, maybe doing 2 or 4 lessons here and there. And although they're not strictly part-time, they're full-time teachers, they're drafted in from other departments, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
So it's a tricky one to quantify.
So could we put that down as an action to check with Claire if that could be just changed slightly, that question? Question 6. Thank you, Sarah. That's really, that would be helpful to look at.
This is to do with
thank you.
Specialist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just clarifying that specialist.
Secondary school.
Yeah. And that's the secondary school questionnaire. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, we are going to move on now to the draft new constitution for Sacre. Welcome, Councillor Beckles, we're so happy you're here.
Yep, me too. Thanks for waiting.
No problem. This is the bit where we definitely need you. So with the draft constitution, it has been updated so that so it's a clearer document. It has information in there about what the actual law around our sacres are, and hopefully it's now really clear in the constitution. There is a breakdown of what all of our responsibilities are depending on which group we're representing. And in the Code of Conduct, there's the 7 principles of public life, which I think are called the Nolan principles, that make it really clear about what the expectations are around what we do, and who we should be as we conduct ourselves as a sacre. I know Claire emailed out today, there was an additional appendix that had the links to all the Acts of Parliament that we refer to and the laws. So hopefully everyone got that from Claire. I know in the actual document we were sent, we've got the new the new terms of reference and constitution, and then we've also got the old one, the old version in there as well. So please don't confuse those. What we need to do is to decide if we are happy with the constitution as it is, and then we need a majority of everybody from each panel to agree it. So before we move on to thinking about agreeing it, are there any issues around adopting this constitution?
Very minor one about.
Minor one, go on.
It's the role of Sacre members representing faith communities. Sort of leaves me out, but I think I should be included in that.
Yes, what page is that on? Sorry, Ed.
That's on page 47. So it's just the title.
Yeah, so could
so and then language maybe on the first bullet point.
Yeah, this bit and this bit. Yeah, so the title of role of Sacre members representing faith communities, and who was that first? So maybe including worldview. Yeah, if we could add worldview into the title and the first bullet point.
Yes, that would be. I think that would cover it.
That would, that would cover other people as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Ed. Anybody else, any issues arising from reading through that, or any comments or ideas? Okay.
No, I think we quite thrashed this last time, didn't we? So I think that we all good.
Yes, yeah, I think we've done a lot of work on it, and I know what has been added by Claire is just going to improve that clarification of why we do it. Okay, so we need to vote by group, and there needs to be a majority within each group to pass it. So I think what we'll do is we'll ask the teacher panel first of all. Can I have a hand up if you agree to pass the constitution if you're on the teachers panel? Thank you very much. Put your hands down. And anybody on the teachers panel that is not happy to pass it? No, you're okay.
Oh, I did first thing.
Yeah, so all that's unanimous on the teacher panel. Could I ask the Church of England panel to raise their hand if they're happy to pass the Constitution? Brilliant, thank you. Put your hands down. Anybody not happy to pass it? Okay, thank you. That's the Church of England's panel. And then we'll move on to the other faiths panel. Could you raise your hand if you are happy to pass? Fantastic, thank you very much. And hands up to anyone who is unhappy about it. Brilliant, thank you very much. And then moving on to the LEA. Please raise your hand if you are happy to pass the new constitution.
My virtual hand is up, Maria.
Thank you very much. Hands down. And hands up if there is anyone from the LEA panel that's not happy about it. Fantastic. Okay, so yes, could we adopt that? Brilliant. That was easy. Okay. Right. Where are we up to now, Ed?
We are. So we've got the agreed syllabus working groups update. Agenda item 10.
Yeah. I think this is just to basically say, I can't find agenda item 10 in the thing, that the working groups are working. The plans for this term are that all of the schemes of work that have been drafted or redrafted or changed are going to be with Claire at half term, which is a couple of days away. She's going to spend some time going through what teachers have planned. She'll edit it. There'll be a final redrafting and checking of spelling, punctuation and grammar, and then it will be ready for the launch. So everything is on track at the moment. The schemes of work that people are submitting have been really good, high quality. We're really happy with them. So we're really positive about where RE is going.
That was just a verbal item.
It was just a verbal item, thank you.
Sorry, I was trying to work out why I couldn't see any pages. That
makes
right.
sense. Right, what we need to do now is to have a look at the summary advice for schools on Ramadan. It's starting this year, I think, just as our Easter break in schools starts. So it'd be really helpful if we can get this information out to schools as soon as possible. This week would be great, if not the first week back after half term, just because schools will then have to put things in place with talking to parents or getting paperwork in place if there are going to be children that are fasting in their school. So hopefully everyone's had a read through the advice. It's the same as it has been in previous years. There's not anything that we have changed. So is there anybody who would like to make any comments about the advice or has anything that they think needs updating or clarifying?
Again, can I just come in there, Maria? Thank you. Yes, again, we've been through this again. It's been a concise version from we had lots of stuff on there originally, and Claire has put it into a snappy, short version of it, which is good. And one thing to note, the 2nd of April is subject, because it's the Ramadan operates on a lunar calendar, and it's usually 10 days shorter than a Georgian calendar. So every 3 years it skips a month. And thank God now this year has moved away from the examinations era and all these other things, because usually falls in the revision times for the students. So again, like that 2nd would be subject to the sighting of the moon. So just to note that.
Just to make that clear, brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. If we're happy, then we can send that out to schools this week.
Yep.
Do we need a hands up or anything like that?
Well, if you ask if anybody doesn't agree, and then
you'll know.
And then you'll know. Yeah.
Okay. Can I just ask? Is there anyone that is not happy for this to be sent out to schools? Brilliant. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Nobody's put their hand up. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay. So now we're moving on to agenda item 12, which is the still standing REP report, which is the Religion Education Council. This report was put together by Claire with 8 other Sacres. And what she was asked to do was to have a look at the core report, the commission on RE that was done, take out all of the parts of that report that were to do with Sacre, and then produce this report around what our responses will be. First of all, we'll just acknowledge what a fantastic, great bit of work this was that Claire has undertaken, and how useful it is just to clarify where Sacre should be, what they should be doing, and what's going on. So, to have a look at this report, there are 5 points on page 61 that we need to have a look at, because it's things that Claire has recommended that Sacre should do. So I think as Claire is on this Sacre, we need to make sure we've definitely done what she's put in her report should be done. So there are 5 points on this page that Sacres are being asked to consider. The first one is about reviewing their membership to ensure that it is representative of the local community and the religions and worldviews included in their agreed syllabus. We want to have a diverse range of voices with specific roles making up a Sacre. It's essential if an LA is able to discharge its legal responsibilities. Current Sacres can start the process of reform around membership now. But just to say with this, we're constantly doing this. We were talking before about the connections that Claire has, and she's constantly reviewing who is on our Sacre, and if someone comes up that she feels would be able to contribute something really positive, then I know she invites them on. We have it in our action plan already as well to review. One point moving forward would be that in March we're going to have the census data released from last year, and at our next meeting it might be really useful just to reflect on that information. Hopefully nothing surprising will come out of it, but what we can do is just make sure that our Sacre is reflecting whatever makeup that census reveals. So we'll put that on the next agenda if that's okay. Anybody want to make any comments on point 1?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, point 2 is to continue to build local partnerships with the LA to ensure necessary funding. Now, we are quite privileged in this case because we are in the top 15 Sacres for funding. However, we would always be working to secure more, and I know that Claire has worked to find out what percentage Sacres should be getting, and I think the formula is 2%, and at the moment I think we get between 1 and 1.2%. So I don't know at this point if Paul, you wanted to come in and talk about anything to do with this aspect, or is this all still being thought about at the moment?
What I can confirm is I've received those details. I'm working with finance on that, and you're quite correct to put forward the 2%. It does make a difference to the funding, and I hope to be able to report back our response soon.
Fantastic, thank you. Yeah, just with that as well, in terms of within the LA, we do have responsibility also for academies and free schools. They come under our remit as well and under that funding. So all of the pupils in those schools are our responsibility. Yeah, so the more money we get, the better work we can continue to, and do even further. Fantastic. Okay. Anybody else who might like to make any comments on point 2?
I've got a quick one, Maria. Just on the academies. I mean, how does the formula work? Maybe a question for Paul. I mean, does it work the same way as the mainstream schools, or is there anything else that we need to know?
No, it's the same. It is based on each type of institution.
Sure. Okay, that's good. So at least we're on the same page. Okay, thank you, Maria.
No problem.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, point 3. Within the present legislation, their ability to widen their membership. So it's looking at if we can have on our membership education departments from museums and universities. Now, I know we already have Eleanor, who is on our Sacre, or is it Alicia? Sorry, Alicia. Why am I calling you Eleanor? I'm so sorry, Alicia. We don't have an education department from a museum at the moment, but I'm not sure that there's one in Newham that we could invite. So I'll put that out there, that if anyone knows of anything museum-y around Newham that could possibly be invited, do let us know.
Not yet, but 2023. Smithsonian and...
of course.
Yeah.
At the Olympic.
Olympic
Park,
yeah.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
And you're on mute if you're speaking. Yeah.
Oh, even mute? I don't think so. Did you hear what James said about the museum that's going to be built at the Olympic Stratford Park?
Yeah, the Smithsonian and the V&A.
V&A.
So they could definitely be someone that we need to approach. Fantastic, thank you. We have local initial teacher training providers. That might be one that we might want to approach. So maybe the East London Training Hub we could approach. We have local RE CPD providers because that's Claire through RE Matters. We have parents, governors, we have our pupil voice, we have representatives from academies. So and governors. So I think our range is quite positive. There's always more that we can be doing, and we will work towards that. But I think we're starting from a good position. Anybody else want to make any comments about number 3? No. Okay. And then number 4 was about making use of the toolkit. So Claire just wanted to make sure everyone realised that we have done this through our agreed syllabus review. And with point 5 as well about the syllabus taking account of the changing landscape, we've done that in the agreed syllabus review as well. So anybody want to make any comments about point 4 or 5? Okay. I think that was the main things that we wanted to pull out from that report. Did anybody have any other comments from within the report that they wanted to discuss or mention? No? Okay. Fantastic. Right. I do now need to make sure that everyone's got their diary in front of them. I have 3 possible dates for people to be able to support the judging of our place of worship competition this year. They will be taking place, first of all, in the afternoon of the 8th of June, which is a Wednesday, from 1 till 3.
That also coincides with the next Sacre meeting, which will be that evening.
Yes, so if you're feeling like having a Sacre kind of day, then go to that one.
The reason I mention that is because there's a typo in my agenda.
Yes.
I've put it down.
Make sure I don't forget that. Yeah. Thank you. The next one will be in the morning of Friday the 10th of June. That will be from 9 to 11. And then there will be an evening date on Tuesday the 14th of June. So it's the afternoon of the 8th of June, the morning of the 10th of June, or the evening of the 14th of June. If you're available on any of those 3 days, if you could just drop Claire an email to say which one you're available for. I know it's really appreciated when a range of people can be involved with the judging of the competition. It just makes the choosing of who's going to be the winners, making sure it's very, what's the word? Fair. Yeah. But there's a better word than fair.
Broad.
Objective. Thank you. Objective. Yes. An objective point of view. Thank you.
And Maria, for the evening one, what time will that be starting?
I don't know what timings that one would be. Claire would have to get back to you with the timings for that one.
No problem.
I think we can confirm it when people say that the evening one would be best for them. Okay. Right, the next thing that we're looking at then is the meetings for the following meetings. As Antonella just said, the proposed date that's on there says the 7th of June. That's not correct. It should be the 8th of June. So please make sure you have the 8th of June in your diary. Just to confirm again that the agreed syllabus launch is on the 23rd of June, beginning at 4:30, I believe. So please come along to that one as well.
It will be here in the public hall in this town.
So at East Ham Town Hall in the public hall. Fantastic. And then we have the 12th of October and the 1st of March for our other 2022 and 2023 dates.
The dates have been checked, and to the best of our knowledge, they don't clash with religious festivals.
Thank you. Anybody spot anything when they're looking in their diaries at that might mean those dates are not okay?
St. David's Day.
I
don't observe that myself.
You're quite right.
We can all come wearing a daffodil. Yeah.
Or a leek.
Okay, a few other bits of business just to talk about. First of all was just to go over again that we have another document from Claire that is about Sacre contacts. With this, it's not for public knowledge with people's emails on it, so this is just for us so that we have those contacts. Another thing that we needed to do was officially nominate Sacre for the Sacre Treasurer. So Sacre, do you just want to confirm that you're happy to stand as our nomination for the Sacre Treasurer?
Yes, I have been in touch with the chair of Sacre, and I have put my intention to be. I have been shadowing Michael, which is the current Sacre treasurer for last year or so almost. So that will be formally going to the AGM meeting in summer, and formally will take position up from then. Subject to like if there's any other candidates or anything like, you know, so still I have been nominated, so my name is up there now.
Thank you. Can we put that in our minutes that we're officially doing that? And yes, I'm sure with the shadowing that you've been doing this year, yeah, you'll be able to get straight into that job. And go with
it's been some fun on games. It's interesting, but yes, I mean as Newham Sacre, we are making headway into the national Sacre, and we are like, you know, the leader and the pioneer with the help of Claire and others within that framework.
Well, we're very privileged to have you as part of our Sacre as well, with that wider knowledge of everything that's going on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one last thing that we would like to say, which is a goodbye to Antonella. Antonella's been our clerk for a long time now.
A couple of years.
Yes, a couple of years. And been here at the meetings, keeping us, you know, on track, making sure that we're doing the right thing, providing us with all the information that we need. Sacre couldn't happen without a good clerk. So thank you very much for all of everything you've done for us. And I know you've got some lovely plans coming up, but we wish you well with all those plans.
Thank you very much, and I'd just like to say thank you all for your support, and particularly over the past year, which has been a bit of a challenging year the past year, and you've been a lovely crowd to work with. So thank you all as well, and I wish you all the very best as a Sacre. I think you are really, really a wonderful bunch of people with a really positive energy, and it shows in the borough. So congratulations to all of you as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that, we've concluded our business, so we'll close the meeting if that's okay.
Lovely, yes, I declare the meeting closed, and the webcast and Zoom meeting will end now for everyone. Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good evening.